What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C4 here, and it's here. Week 1 against the Cleveland Browns. Preseason is finished. 4-0 in the preseason, but none of that matters now. Once again, though, the Philadelphia Eagles are your preseason Super Bowl champions. But we're going to match up right now against the Cleveland Browns. I did a little bit of scouting, and this is going to be, if we can't find a way to win this game big, I'm going to be very disappointed. Their defense is not great. I totally feel that my defensive line, Fletcher Cox and company, are going to get enough pressure to disrupt RG3 the entire game. So I'm expecting a big-time result, and only worry I have is more so with Carson Wentz on the offensive side of the ball. But defensively, I think we're going to be great. So we're open up here, 7 minutes into the first, or 7 minutes left in the first quarter. 3rd and 8, trying to get pressure on RG3, and then who else? Fletcher Cox getting half a sack. I'm not sure why they didn't give him the full sack there. He split that sack with Vinny Curry, but that was enough to draw up 4th and 15. I mean, we are giving Cleveland absolutely nothing. We're playing 9-minute quarters. Like I said, there's just a couple incomplete passes, and then on 3rd down, this is why we're showing you this. We're able to get pressure right out the middle with Fletcher Cox and Vinny Curry. I mean, that is going to be a tandem that is going to wreak havoc all season long. I mean, some of us, we're worried. With shipping Connor Barron off to the Indianapolis Colts, where are we going to lack the depth at defensive end? Was Vinny Curry ready to play starting snaps? And we're seeing on that first drive, he is ready to make an impact. So now we're seeing Carson Wentz first drive in regular season action. And we're going to start off with a nice little handoff here to Ryan Matthews, who had a pretty quiet preseason. A lot of snaps were handed to Darren Sproles, but that is to keep the injury-prone Ryan Matthews fresh and ready to start week 1, because we're going to need him to have a big game, because we don't want to rely on Carson Wentz to throw the ball 30 times for us to win. We want to have a fine balance, or maybe even throw the ball less than we run it this week, as Carson Wentz hits Mr. Brent Selleck there for a very short gain. Offensive line has done well. It's only been one drive. We haven't got sacked, which is an issue. A lot of people think the offensive line is a big weak issue for the Philadelphia Eagles, and rightfully so. Those assumptions about the weak players on our offensive line are fair and warranted, but they're getting the job done as Carson Wentz on 3rd down hits Jordan Matthews. Very good hands, no brick hands. When I'm actually playing this game before I record it, I am just yelling brick before I fucking complete a pass. But there we go, hitting Ryan Matthews on the screen out of the backfield, and look at that. Come on, maybe a little unnecessary roughness. I think he carried on with that tackle as we were well out of bounds. But enough to make it 2nd and 2, certainly manageable. As, we really do want to get some points on Carson Wentz's first NFL drive. And, we don't necessarily have to come through him. It doesn't necessarily need to be a pass or a rushing touchdown for Carson Wentz. Ryan Matthews can certainly carry the load and help us get 6 on the board. But as you can see here, I am trying to keep a fine balance between Carson Wentz passing the ball and giving a fair amount of snaps to Mr. Ryan Matthews as we go deep to Dorial Green Beckham. That is why we made the trade with Dennis Kelly to get him from the Tennessee Titans. He is an absolute mismatch nightmare and potentially the breakout star on this offense. A lot of people are going to credit Carson Wentz there with a great read. A lot of players might have checked down. Someone else that used to be on the roster that's now in Denver may look to have checked down to the running back there, but Carson Wentz showing off the big arm, hitting Green Beckham, who beats his coverage and dives into the end zone. That is exactly what Philadelphia Eagle fans want to see out of Dorial Green Beckham, and what an impression of a first drive for Carson Wentz, as he has, that was probably 50-yard plus touchdown pass there. So defense is now on the ball. Cleveland has dinked and dined their way down the field, and we're taking it in here right now in the red zone, trying to hold Cleveland to 3 points or a turnover ideally, but certainly don't want to give up a touchdown. Want to keep adding on to this lead before the end of the first half. So we're going to use our Fletcher Cox here on the defensive line as he blows up the guard and makes the play in the backfield for a gain of 0 from Isaiah Crowell. As you can see, 10 rushes for Crowell right now, and we're only halfway through the second quarter. So they are not putting the game in RG3's hands. They are not comfortable with him throwing the ball because we got playmakers in the secondary, especially at that safety position between Rodney McLeod and Malcolm Jenkins. But again, looking like they're going to go for a run, so let's get after this quarterback here. And look, a run again. Very predictable. Duke Johnson this time. Kind of questionable they wouldn't go with the bigger back in Isaiah Crowell. But either or, no one's getting through that defensive line as we make it 4th and 4 and try to hold them to 3. I don't think they're going to trick pass or go for it. I'm not going to fucking go after him. I don't want to risk it. I have too many times where I get really close and then I'll fucking run into the kicker, and that is just enough to give them a new set of downs. As you would have seen in, I believe, the third preseason game against the Colts, it might have been, where I actually just blew out the fucking kicker, got a penalty. No, it was against the Steelers. Sorry, the second preseason game against the Steelers where I ran into the fucking kicker, and that really killed the drive. So now we're back 7-3, and we start off with Carson Wentz hitting Nelson Agholor. Yes, he caught a pass. He did not drop it for a first down. That is tricky. We did try Jordan Matthews on the outside in preseason, but he naturally, and mismatches, we're going to find those when him playing in the slot. So we do have to have Nelson Agholor starting on the outside, as well as Dorial Green-Beckham, who already caught a phenomenal opening offensive drive touchdown. As Carson Wentz moves in the pocket, and it's Green-Beckham again. How is this guy getting that wide open? Why aren't they putting Joe Hayden on Dorial Green-Beckham? But that's a big matchup as well. Joe Hayden 5'10", you got Dorial Green-Beckham 6'5", 6'6". I mean, as good of a player as Joe Hayden is, physically, if Green-Beckham can get him, there's not a chance for him. As we get Ryan Matthews to walk it in from 12 yards out, pretty much untouched. Offensive line woes. What? That interior is making massive, massive holes for Ryan Matthews to go through. I think that's maybe a little bit more how bad Cleveland's defensive line is, but our offensive line is doing everything we're asking them. We took Steven Wisniewski, converted him from center to guard, and our other guard, Brandon Brooks, and center Jason Kelsey are looking like they are going to be on form for this season, as we are up 14-3, trying to get even more points before the end of the first half. What are we doing? We're going to audible. We're going to get Ryan Matthews out of the backfield here. But we will hit Nelson Agholor. A little drop-off pass there to make it 7 for 7, 111 yards, and 1 touchdown for Carson Wentz. Kind of padding his stats there to, let's try to get the perfect quarterback rating for what we in Philadelphia believe is the perfect quarterback in Carson Wentz. But we're going to give it to Ryan Matthews, and oh my God, Miles. Over that guy, he does not have a fucking chance. I didn't even think Ryan Matthews had the gas in him, man. He's been pounding the rock for me this entire half. And, 89 speed, he's not showing that 89 speed. He was able to outrun most people on that Cleveland Brown defense as we go up 21-3. That was a huge run, and great to see that out of Ryan Matthews. I mean, I've already made it almost a foregone conclusion that we are going to be trying to target a running back in the next draft. And Ryan Matthews making the case that we should re-sign him. We should extend him. And, he is the guy. He will stay healthy and be our running back of the future. But we're back here, 21-3. Like I said, Cleveland has the ball, trying to make some plays here at the end of the first half. Can I get some points? Get at least a touchdown. Even a field goal they would take. I think, Hugh Jackson would totally take 3 points right now, especially with how good my defense has been and how bad RG3 has been. But we're not going to give it to him easy at all. Benny Logan with the sack, big time, grown man sack. Second tackle of the game, bringing RG3 down for a big loss, making it 2nd and 20 for the Cleveland Browns as they try to have, get anything going on offense with 19 seconds left in the second quarter. This is not good. This is not good. RG3 scrambling, and boom, picked off. Newly acquired Rodney McLeod Jr. with the interception, returning it. Ooh, we're almost in field goal range here. But that very good interception there for Rodney McLeod. Big time acquisition. We all know about that safety tandem in Philadelphia. So we were able to add a field goal there. Weren't able to, squeak out a touchdown. But we will fucking still take it as we're up 27-3 as nothing really happened to start the third quarter. Cleveland had the ball. I cannot understand their game plan in this game. They just kept running the ball. They would run the ball 3 straight times. Do they have that little faith in RG3? So we stopped. I think they converted 1 first down, and then we stopped them on their second attempt. And now we got the ball here with 1.5 minutes left in the third quarter as Carson Wentz beautifully hit Zach Ertz out there. So that's 13 for 13, almost 200 yards and a touchdown for Carson Wentz. I know I would like to try to get another passing touchdown for the rookie so that we can enter week 2. This game's pretty much over. So we can enter week 2 with very high confidence levels and trying to build on what we have. Hit Zach Ertz again. They are just, the linebackers for the Cleveland Browns just have absolutely no sort of game plan at all that stops Zach Ertz. He is getting open on almost every single play. It's more or less if I can catch him we're gonna fucking hit him. So what we got here? We're trying to get a touchdown, 2nd and 3. I'm liking that DGB, man. He is some fucking target. We're gonna go for him and touchdown, Dorial Green-Beckham. That was really accurate from Carson Wentz. His 2nd receiving touchdown of the game. A lot of people were like, will he actually outming the roster? He has some attitude issues. Does he even have what it takes to make it in the NFL? And he has been absolutely on point this week. Opening game against the Cleveland Browns, 2 touchdowns. I don't know how many receptions. I don't even know how many yards. He's probably close to 100 yards right now. As Carson Wentz gets his second professional touchdown, the Philadelphia Eagles are up 34-3. So now we're in the fourth quarter, and this offense is doing nothing. Look at RG3, 8 of 15, 96 yards, and 1 touchdown. They are afraid to throw the ball in. That is, if I was an offensive coordinator, attack the Eagles at the secondary, man. Our corners are not great. We got Eric Rowe, Jalen Mills, and Nolan Carroll right now. So RG3, surely with Corey Coleman, you can get after that. But the pocket, there's no pocket there. Fletcher Cox coming in for another sack. A sack and a half and 2 tackles on the day. Our $100 million man is performing like a $100 million man. To bring up 4th and 14, I mean, this game is utter domination. It's not going to be this easy every single week, but with a lot of questions about is this Philadelphia Eagles team even going to be able to compete in the NFC East this year. It is the Cleveland Browns. They are potentially the joke of the NFL, but it's an excellent performance, especially coming off a 4-0 preseason. So RG3 is trying to save whatever face he can this game. Last play of the game, throwing it deep into the end zone into triple coverage, and look at that. The guy we're given an opportunity to make plays. Jalen Mills with the interception to end the game as the Philadelphia Eagles win 34-6, Week 1 at home at the Link. Carson Wentz's debut against the Cleveland Browns. Look, RG3, what the fuck are you fist pumping for, buddy? You just got shit pumped. You're going to have nightmares about Fletcher Cox for the next couple weeks. Joe Thomas, I feel sorry that you were stuck in that franchise. So we will take a quick look here at the player stats from this game. Carson Wentz, 145 QB rating, 217 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, phenomenal. Could not have had a better game. Ryan Matthews, 117 yards on only 9 attempts and 2 touchdowns. Did not have to run the ball to be super effective. Zach Ertz, 4 catches, 60 yards. Dorial Green-Beckham, 4 receptions, 98 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Was unable to get Jordan Matthews involved in the game, but I expect him to have a nice bounce-back week next week. We'll let you guys look at the defensive side of things. As I say, thank you for tuning in. Another episode of the Eagles Connected Franchise Mode. If you're new, please subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, and stay tuned for a little post-game press conference coming up now. Well, first off, I would like to give a lot of credit to Doug Peterson and his staff. So much criticism coming in from the media, from the fans, from everything. It's a circus here in Philly. Everyone knows what to expect. Doug's been here before. But for, as much pressure there was to win in this game, he came up big. 34-6 against the Cleveland Browns. Sure, they're not the cream of the crop in the AFC, but they have a very good defense that we expose and make look pretty mediocre. If trying to sound as respectful as possible, but I mean, everything was great out there. Carson Wentz looked phenomenal. One of the best rookie debut performances I've ever seen from a quarterback. So poised. His chemistry with Jordan Matthews, with Dorial Green-Beckham, a guy that I told you before the game started that he was ready and going to have a big game. So that was very nice to see. Seeing Ryan Matthews have explosive runs, man. That guy looked like he has a new set of tires and the tread is ready to be burnt. Great to see his performance. Hopefully, I, as well as, Ryan, hopefully he can stay healthy this season. But, everyone worked. The offensive line was great. The defense was phenomenal. How about Fletcher Cox? I wasn't here. You walk into the building, you see pictures of Reggie White. You see pictures of Jerome Brown. You even see pictures of guys like Trent Cole. Guys that were notably some of the fiercest defensive linemen in their era. And I think you're seeing that with what we have here right now. Fletcher Cox, sack and a half. Vinny Curry, sack and a half. Brandon Graham, how many quarterback pressures did he have? Benny Logan got a sack. I mean, this front seven, Coach Schwartz has these guys running on all cylinders, from offense to defense to special teams. Very impressed. How about Jalen Mills, everybody, huh? That 7th round pick that so many people were getting ready to throw to the curb. Interception to end the game. Very impressed with these guys. I'm so excited to get ready for week 2. I would like to give you guys a little bit more time, but I'm going to go celebrate with my team. Thank you guys for coming in, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks.